On this episode of Sci-Fi Timelines, we're going to go to biology class and figure out the species of the species series, or the genus, or something like that. I don't know. I didn't do well in biology class. Let me just admit that right now. It was not my forte. But what is my forte is figuring out timelines, so let's see if we can make this one work. Back in 95, the species was born in the film of the same name. It starts by saying that powerful radio telescopes have been searching for alien signals for 30 years. They're talking about the Big Ear radio telescope that started operating in 1963 and the true beginning of SETI. So it's possible that we're in 1993 here. We meet some girl from Dawson's Creek and Gandhi, and she escapes military confinement. Then Mr. Blonde and Ghost Dog show up, and Doc Ock and Catherine Willows round out the team. And Fitch says that in January of 93, they received a message from space containing a DNA code, and they created Syl, who aged rapidly. They say that she's 3 months old, so depending upon how long it took them to create a DNA code, we're definitely at least in 1993. Syl mutates and grows up into a supermodel and starts a killing. She hunts for a mate and...
Here's the file. John F. Carey.
I'd vote for the guy. This medical record from earlier the same day says that it's April 24th, 1995, so that gives us our year, and I wonder what the expiration date and security code on this credit card is. Apparently, this is hopefully the final stop on my tour this summer of movies featuring rapidly aged characters who then have sex. Again, Syl is only 3 months old here, and we're watching her get naked and have sex. I know she has the body and physiology of a much older grown woman, but we know that she's 3 months old, and it's a little creepy. Syl shows her true Giger-designed form, and Melina knocks her up, and she takes him out, and there's a showdown in the sewers in which fake Mandarin gets trevored. Syl gives birth, and it quickly becomes a bunch of pixels that they kill. A very 90s CGI Syl attacks, but they blow her head off. But a rat eats part of her tail and I guess is now infected. I guess the whole DNA transference thing can be done through eating or something. I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, the movie did well enough for a sequel, so in 1998 we got Species 2, which kicks off with a Mars landing. And whoa, this is a world with Richard Belzer as president? That just seems like irresponsible. One of the soil samples from Mars has the same goo we saw in the first film, and it takes over the crew, and oh man, Giger monsters and black goo? This isn't some sort of like Prometheus thing, is it? I don't think I could sit through another one of those. On Earth, Dr. Baker has cloned Syl in a new form called Eve, and why did they give her no clothes but then make her straps cover her? Why didn't they just give her clothes? Patrick starts mating right away with instant results and 2 babies, and Farmer Hoggett is here. Press is back also, and Young Frankenstein's monster talks about a Mars meteor from 96, so we're at least past that. And it turns out that all of the astronauts were infected except Gamble here. Patrick regrows a whole head and has more kids, and Press uses the questionable tactic of holding a gun on a grocery store employee to find out where the cereal aisle is.
Where's the goddamn cereal?
This van has a license plate saying it's 98, so we have our year here, and what are the odds of 2 dark vans in the same parking lot with people having sex in the back? I guess 90s grocery store parking lots were where they were a place to be, huh? He kills his daddy while the kid cocoons, Eve escapes, and the 2 mate. Patrick shows his true form, which is definitely different than Eve's, and the 2 fight, and this happens. Can I show that? Should I blur that? I don't even... What are the rules? They manage to stop Patrick by using Gamble's blood because he has sickle cell, and that kills him. One of the offspring is revealed to be alive, and Eve's dead body gives birth, setting us up for more. And we got more in 2004, 6 years later, in Species 3, which debuted on the Sci-Fi channel, which picks up right where the last one left off, so we're still in 1998. Eve gives birth and dies and basically appears as quickly as her contract would allow. And Patrick's kid is still here too. Dr. Abbott gets Eve's kid and hides her in his home, and she's still a young girl, so since we know that the offspring grows super fast, this can't be too long after the opening. And he names her Sarah. The hybrid kid appears, fully grown and dying, and Sarah Cocoon grows, and she kills her first dummy and goes on the prowl. And there's a glitch here. She passes a theater showing a few movies that don't seem to exist except for Jeepers Creepers, which came out in 2001, 3 years after this movie is supposed to take place. Since the rapid aging of the characters mean that it can't be 3 years later, we'll just roll with the notion that this is a different movie that only exists in this film's universe and came out in 1998. She hooks up with another half-breed, but I'm assuming that this has to be one of Patrick's kids that escaped because that's the only way that there'd be more alien species about, so Sarah's making out with her half-brother here. And the new creatures look quite different and... aw man, again? Abbott dies, yet another half-breed shows up, begging the question, how many got away from that barn anyway? Kinda invalidates the first two movies when the whole point was to make sure that they didn't reproduce because it meant disaster, and here they did, and yeah, they kill some people, but mostly just kinda do normal stuff and then die. Well, I mean, they do cut this guy in half. There's a creature face-off and a reactor shaft, with both ladies falling in, and then they mess things up by reading a March 2004 issue of Scientific American 6 years after this movie is supposed to take place, so just chalk that up to a different universe glitch, I guess. We cut to 3 weeks later and Sarah's still alive with a baby, but it's a clone that Dean created, and he grows up real quick and goes off with Sarah. So, for some reason, that one must have made money, because 3 years later, we get 2007's Species The Awakening. We meet Miranda and her Uncle Tom, and looks like she's an alien, with a slightly modified look. Tom tells Miranda that he's made her with an old student and created her in a lab, and says that it was years ago. They use the DNA instructions from the first film, and then they go to Mexico and meet a spooky nun and this monster cabbie. There's a poster up for a fight in 2000, but it could be an old poster, although it's pretty possible this could take place in 2000 as well. Miranda's dying, and there's a way to save her, but they have to get a live woman to transfer DNA from. They restore her, but she's changed and goes hunting while Nun Lady becomes Lady Deathstrike or something and gets bent crossed. Get it? There's more iffy CGI, and we've strayed pretty far from that initial Giger monster design, and not in a good way. Miranda's pregnant, and there's a fight that's less the first movie, and more Power Rangers, and both ladies die, and Uncle Tom blows everything up. So there you have it. It's 4 movies with, I guess, it's a fairly patchy continuity. Fairly patchy CGI. Fairly patchy storytelling. Some fairly patchy acting. This is a fairly patchy series. It's just okay. I mean, I enjoyed the first movie. Second movie's not bad. Third and fourth one are pretty hard to watch. There's not a lot to them that's even like really worth checking out. They're pretty bland. But I don't know. Let me know if you enjoyed them. Let me know what you thought of the Species series down below. Stick up for it if you like it. Make fun of it if you don't. Or just tell me anything that you want. Let me know what other videos you want to see, because that's it for this one. And actually, I want to thank you guys for watching it. And check out these guys over here, because they're my patrons. They're the ones that helped me to make this. You can help out too. Just go to this little website down below here and kick over some money to help get these videos made, please. And thank you to these guys for doing so. Thank you for watching them. And I'll be back soon with another great video. So thanks a lot. Bye-bye.